TinkerCAD tip. I was recently challenged by a follower to make a shield in TinkerCAD. And with the new sketch tool, this is actually a super simple thing to do. Let me show you how I did this. Let's zoom out. Let's go ahead and move that out of the way. So if you'll notice here, this is in two profiles. There's a top-down profile, and then there's the side profile or front profile. So we're going to do this in two parts. Let's bring out our sketch tool here. Just put it on the default work plane. We'll come into sketch. We'll zoom out a little bit. And we're going to do the top down. So we're going to start here and we're going to use a curved line. Let's start at about here. This is our center line. So this would be 30 millimeters. Twice that would be 60. So let's start here. And then we're going to bring it to the other side. All right, now holding down the left mouse button, I can take and curve this, and we'll bring it out to about there. That's a pretty good symmetric curve. All right, I'm going to click on the straight line here, or hit the number 1. We're going to zoom in here. We're going to come out 2 millimeters. Drop 1 there. I'm going to hit number 2 to go back to a Bezier curve. Zoom in here. I'm going to make that one 2 millimeters out. And again, when I click down, I'm going to hold the left mouse button. And again, I'm going to move this about until I get a nice symmetric curve. Right about there. Click back to straight line, zoom in, and I'm going to click back on my original dot. Now that I've joined them end to end, I have my profile. I'm going to click Finish Sketch. That comes out here on the build plane or the work plane. Let's change that to yellow. I like yellow because it's easy to see. We'll stretch that up a bit, and if we want, we can also stretch this out. Grab this. We can make it a little more curvy like that. Okay, now we're going to do the front profile, and again, with the sketch tool on the default work plane. And if we zoom out here, we can sort of see our original curve here. And we're going to do this just as a half. So I'm going to start with a curve line here. I'm going to start here. I'm going to drop a pin there. I'm going to come out to about here. And again, holding down that left mouse button, I'm going to put kind of a slight curve. I'm going to come down a ways. Let's say to about here, and I'm going to hit that same center line. I want to be right below my top dot up here. And we're going to click here and drag out with the left mouse button. Click on straight line, go back to our beginning. I'm doing just half of this. Now let's do an edit on this, and we're going to click here so I have independent lines. We're going to change this curve just a little bit. Down here, also independent. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm going to click on Finish Sketch. Let's change that to yellow. Now I'm going to duplicate this so we have our other half. I'm going to select on that. I'm going to first put a work plane over on this side of it. Now that I have that selected, I'm going to click Duplicate. I'm going to click Mirror. Switch it this way, and then I'm going to use the D on the keyboard to drop that to that plane. Put the default work plane back. We can select the two of those and group them together. There we go. Now if we want, we can make some changes to this. Let's make it a little bit wider, let's say. About like that. That looks pretty good. let's go ahead and tilt this up. Let's bring it up a bit. Let's make sure that it covers all of that. It does. Very good. So now we need to make a cookie cutter out of this. Let's drag this out. Let's bring in a hole box over here. Drop it on the default work plane. Stretch that across. Let's bring it above. Let's move that back in there. Let's make that a little bit longer so it pokes out the back there. All right, we're going to select the both of those. Do a quick alignment down the center, down the middle here, and we can go this direction. Now let's make that shield shape into a hole. Let's select the two of those, group those together. Now let's make this box here, let's make that a hole. Now we're going to shift select our curve shape back here. Let's do an alignment. We're going to click on the curve shape to make that the boss. We're going to align that way. Down the center. All right, now when we do this, we want to make sure that our curved shield shape is below the top part of this box here. We can bring this up a bit. There we go. We can select the two of those, group those together. And there we have our shield shape. And we could make any adjustments to this that we want. Let's say we want it a little bit wider, maybe a little thicker here in the middle. And now that we have that part of it, we could do any additional embellishments that we wanted. For instance, let's say we wanted to put rivets around it. Let's bring this shape out here, and holding the Shift key down, I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Let's make a duplicate of that. Let's bring that out here. Now I could click on the cruise tool here. Bring that up and we can cruise it around on here. There we go. I could make another duplicate of that. Cruise tool. And just keep working my way around. Here you go. There's a quick way to use the sketch tool to make shapes in TinkerCAD. As always, like, follow, and share. If you have questions about what I did here, drop me a comment.